Spurge here with RevZilla, and in this video we're going to break down the new Enduristan Monsoon Evo bags available at RevZilla.com. So this is an upgrade over the Monsoon 3 bags, but the price stays the same. You're looking at around the $420 mark for the 24-liter bag on my left-hand side, or up to around the $450 price point if you want to go with the larger 34-liter bag on my right-hand side. So really the biggest difference you're going to notice here over the Monsoon 3s is that there is a new mounting mechanism on the back. Ignore that little zip tie. That is there just to keep some of these large amount of straps clean. But you're going to notice that you have a new mounting system on the back that mounts to a 18mm frame rail that is on your bike. So if you've got a frame rail on there for luggage, this is going to be a soft mount that can mount on there. Nice design from Enduristan. This is something we've been really impressed with. This is a manufacturer that's been around since 2008, founded by a group of adventure riders, and really their only primary focus is to design rugged gear that they would want to use on their adventure rides. Lyndon Poskett has been testing this particular line out. He's been putting it through its paces in Africa. Thousands of miles of testing has gone into this bag in pretty much some of the harshest conditions you could possibly ride through. And one of the things that I like about Enduristan is that their gear isn't crazy expensive, but it's amazingly durable for what you get for you adventure riders out there. And if you're anything like me, those big fancy aluminum panniers look great for a street tour, but if you are riding off-road with your adventure bike, you want something that's a little bit lighter and that can take a beating a little bit more without potentially coming undone, being damaged, or having to be welded back together. So I like what Enduristan is doing. So let's go ahead and break down with what you're getting with the new Monsoon Evo bags. So starting with the main construction on this. This is going to be that 3L waterproof material that we really like. That 3L is 3 different layers of construction here. So you can have a rubberized polymer on the outside, which has a really solid hand to it. Feels really like a quality construction just with a hand on that. The inside, the middle layer, the sandwich, if you will, is going to be a 1000D nylon, which sits in between the outer rubber polymer and then that inside red vinyl. So if we open this up, you're going to see that the inside is a solid red material, and this just gives you that contrasting look. So if you are having to dig to the bottom of the bag for something, it helps to just stand out against that red. And then this is going to be that waterproof layer on the inside. Little piece of plastic to give you that rigidity to the lip. There is going to be a U-shaped insert with this to add rigidity to the bag if you want it. You can also pull that out and use it as a complete soft bag, and then you can really ratchet this down. Now the one nitpick that I do have here from a closure standpoint, there's no Velcro at the top holding this together, and you know, from what we've seen from other manufacturers, they actually have the strap for the roll top built into the top, so when you get this rolled down, you can kind of pull it nice and secure. The issue that we have with this is you roll it down, and then you have these straps that go over top, and you also have the straps that come up the side, but the straps that come up the side mount to the top over here, where it could have been nice to have it where it mounted to the side a little bit more, just to give you a bit more of a secure closure. But again, if you do this correctly and you give yourself enough room to roll the top down all the way, you shouldn't have an issue with any water or dirt getting into the bag itself. You just need to make sure you give yourself a solid 3 rolls worth of room to really, get that down. The other small nitpick is simply the massive amount of straps and buckles on this. Now, I think, Enduristan was really going to make sure that you had something super secure, but you can see that, the excess amount of extra strapping material for these buckles on the side, and really their only design is to make sure that you can ratchet it down nice and tight and that you don't have anything flapping around on the side. But there's just an excess of material there. I think, one strap could have worked really nicely, or keep both straps, but just simplify the design a little bit more. As it stands right now, this bag is filled up in a maximum capacity, and you can see there's just plenty of excess material here from the straps. So I see that being a bit cumbersome when you're out there on the ride, but it does function quite well if you are trying to ratchet that down. A little bit more of a refinement of the design though would have been nice. What I do like is they've added this TPU material to the bottom of this just to add in those extra points. If you've ever used luggage on your motorcycle, or a soft dry bag rather, you know that this is one of the areas that tends to get beat up the most. So they've added this extra layer of TPU down to the bottom just to give you that extra bit of protection with that really compromised area. You're gonna have some moly webbing on the top here. The Enduristan logo isn't reflective. There's really not much of any reflectivity on the bag. A little bit of reflectivity would have been nice, but you can see that clean little logo there on the outside is really the only branding that you're going to have. Slipping it over to the inside of this bag, let's talk for a second about the mounting system. So the inside of the bag itself is going to be that same rubber polymer that we're going to have on the outside, but now what you're going to see is this new mounting system. So the way this works is it's designed to integrate with the 18mm tubing on your motorcycle. So the majority of manufacturers out there have that specific 18mm tubing to it. You want to make sure you check your bike's tubing diameter before you go with these particular bags. But the way it would work is you would pull the pin out and you would basically snap it onto the bike itself, and then you can either pull up from the top and that will securely lock it into place, or you can put it on the bottom and you can pull down and that will securely lock it into place. So you can either mount it on top, which is probably your more ideal situation, is if you can put it, if you have the room on your motorcycle to put it on the top of the rail, or you can mount it from the bottom depending on the setup of your individual rail. What you do need to make sure is that you have 25 centimeters of space in the inside of your rail. Once you have it snapped on there, you simply go ahead and you stick the pin back in, and you are now secure to ride. You have dual pins and dual snaps to hold it in place nice and securely. Very clean and easy system to use as long as your rack will accommodate it. I do like the design of this as far as easy on, easy off. Once you have those snapped into place, you have two securing straps up on the top, and that's going to be done with a cam buckle right there. You can wrap that around the top of the frame rail and ratchet it down nicely. Again, the only thing here is there's a lot of extra material with this strap. Chances are you're wrapping it right around the top of the frame rail, or you're mounting to some hard frame part of your bike. The big thing to keep in mind here is making sure that your existing luggage rack is going to work with the bike. Again, I keep saying frame rail, but what I'm really trying to say is it's the luggage rack on your motorcycle. You need to make sure that tubing is 18mm. Enduristan makes amazing product. I've used their stuff for years. It's extremely beefy, extremely rugged, and I think this is going to be a winner for a lot of people. But again, it really depends on your individual motorcycle. You need to make sure you have that luggage rack on there, and you need to make sure the luggage rack has the specifications that match up with this bag. That's a little bit of the homework that you'll have to do to see if your bike will work with this. If you have additional questions, you can always click the info button on your desktop or mobile device. You can read other rider reviews from folks that are already using this stuff, or you can simply give one of our Gear Geeks a call at 877-792-9455. Shoot an email at cs@revzilla.com. They can walk you through the specifications of your motorcycle, and they can figure out exactly what luggage is right for you and your particular riding style. I want to thank you for joining us today for this look at the Enduristan Monsoon Evo bags. I'm Spurge. Enjoy the ride.